what's the hate distinguisher going to do? Add more time? Okay, then just add more time to murder. Welcome to Pull the Pin Radio, a place where average veterans come to share their opinion on the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
And I close.
Oh, boy. Jim, I want to talk about something. I don't think you've ever heard this term before, but I wanted to discuss it. Hate crime.
Gosh, just you saying it makes me like,
Jeez,
just makes me so angry.
I can't stand this. I can't. Oh, yeah. Well, the reason why I'm hearing a lot of rumble, pardon the pun, but about this guy in Atlanta who killed like 8 people, and he shot him with some 9mm or whatever. Doesn't matter. He killed him.
Well, it does matter because if it was an AR, they'd be gone tomorrow.
True. So now they're coming after 9mm. Mm-hmm. Killed like 8 people, 3 different spas, massage parlors, whatever they were, and looks to be an ordinary looking white guy, right? And I think the majority of the victims were Asian, if not all of them. So a lot of people are screaming hate crime now. It's a term I never really, I'm not going to say understood. I get the premise behind it, but the crime itself is just a crime to me, and I wanted to hear your view on it.
Well, my opinion's real easy. They're all hate crimes. Why would you commit a crime if you didn't have hate in your heart or something? You don't just walk around saying, I love you, bang. Like, what?
So you're saying all crimes against a person are hate crimes?
Yeah, I mean, who in their heart would have any love and commit something against somebody like that?
Well, you know, I could see somebody doing something and having strong, deep, loving feelings for another, and still
like a crime of passion. They love them so much they want to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a little confusing because deep down inside, I'm sure there's a lot of hate brewing on in there.
Nah, well, I mean, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist. Which one would it be? I don't know.
You're not even close to either, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not in either one. But I think if someone said it's that old, no one can. If I can't have you, no one can. But they still love the person.
All right, we can go that route for whatever you want to go. I'm not I don't understand if you commit a crime against somebody. There's no love. I mean, even if you're saying, well, I love you so much, if you love them so much, you're killing them. They're not here. So you're just lying to yourself to justify killing somebody, which is hateful.
Okay, so your position is all crime. Like if you kill me, that's no different than me killing you.
In my position, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the confusion is they're trying to make this. They probably just do it like you want to. Just add it a racial hate crime.
Okay.
Because that's where it seems to be the distinction, is that if it's against someone of another race, it's a hate crime. So let's say perchance this guy did go and he went after Asian people. Regardless, he's still an insane maniac who hates people, probably hates himself more than he hates people, which is why he goes and does that. But I'm not a shrink either, so I can't diagnose the guy. But that's what they're basing it on, in my opinion, is because it's a race. So that must be you hate the race.
I think it's more than just the race. I think it's race, gender, sexual identity, creed, religion, and all of those.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Right.
Yeah. All of those dividing characteristics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So it's like if you do something against these people who are, Muslim, Christian, whatever, it's a hate crime. because you hate that particular demographic. And I'm at first I was okay with it, but then as I studied more in criminal justice, I'm like, I don't get it. Murder is murder. Assault is assault. Just if you enforce the law and make it equal across the board as much as possible, what's the problem? Why add more time, like you're saying, for hate that's already there?
Right. And I think, I think that there's a valuable tool, or should I say information, by identifying those things. Like you mentioned the Asian, like think about it. If we were looking for a serial killer and he went unkilled, the last victims, three were Asian, that information would be valuable because then maybe his fourth one would be an Asian. You know what I mean? That might be valuable in an investigation. So that information might, but we also can say that maybe it won't be.
Right.
So you can't just take a stand on that saying, oh, it's a hate crime. Oh, this guy doesn't like this race. Oh, this, because he might have just been mad at nail salons. I mean, who knows? He might have went for a pedicure and they embarrassed him. You know what I mean? Just happens that a lot of nail salons have a lot of Asian people. It might not have been intentional. It might have been coincidence. Like it's, we can't make things up that aren't there. So that's why I have a problem with hate crime, because where does the hate come from? How do you know it's a hate crime?
Well, I think it would come from, like, today, as we both know, they start looking at your social media accounts, hate speech. You once, they have video of you doing hate speech, or you belong to a hate group, so
Sure.
that kind of proves that there's more hate to you doing this crime. It doesn't even sound right when I say it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to add more time onto someone, once they're convicted, because of those different elements, and the element being because of one of those demographics I mentioned before, I don't think that's fair, if you will. Like if I go and kill someone who's the same race, religion, whatever, heterosexual, it'll be different if you go kill someone who's a different race, different sexuality, different. You know what I mean? I just don't understand that. And I've always wanted to talk to people about it, and for the life of me, I've never talked to someone who said they understood it.
Right. And
Unless,
what's that?
unless you're talking to, they're looking at it from a personal standpoint of, oh, like me. If I say, well, I understand if the guys KKK come and kill me, they did it because I'm black. I get it. Now, like with you, if you get jumped and beat up and it's a hate crime because you're gay, right? So then, oh, sorry.
I got to give you props, man. You just walked that one. That was good. For the first time,
know.
your humor like paid off in a way that like I'm speechless. Like I wasn't even ready for a comeback.
I know. I had to set it up, man. I was trying not to smile the whole time, man.
Yeah, that was good, man. I'll give you props. Finally, your humor. Let me see if I can do this right. Let me see if I can give you a high five here. I don't know.
No,
the other way.
My way. But no, so like if it's because you're a single dad, let's say, or whatever it may be,
right?
So how does that warrant more time to be served than the other? That's the only part when I was in criminal justice program that I couldn't understand and didn't agree with.
Let me take it down another perspective, because I'm not even going to talk about warranting more time. Let's forget about that for a second. What happens when you take a gun away from a hateful person? What happens? Would you say you're a hateful person, you just hurt people, you want to hurt people, I'm taking your gun away so you can't shoot people? What happens? Do you stop the hate?
No.
No, right? So they'll find another mean, right?
Yeah.
So by telling people that we'll tack on more if you stick to the same race, maybe one tap over here just so you don't get more crime, like what message are you sending these people? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I want to go kill people or something like that, but I'm not going to make it one of these groups over here.
Right. Or if I do, I'm going to make sure I include one extra over here so they can't say it was a hate crime.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just I've never agreed with it, and like I said, I've yet to have one person. This is real life, face to face type talking. I don't care about the people on TV, cable news, and things of that nature, but who would say they agree with it and they can justify it. Not saying
So
that they have to. It's just during conversation.
so let's play this conversation through, Mike. Okay, you're in prison, right? 'Cause you're the black
Yeah.
guy. So you're in prison, and I'm your counselor, and I'm talking to you like, okay, so I understand you killed somebody, and I understand that, but what made you kill somebody with such hate that you like? How does that conversation play out?
Well, because
Like,
I hate Jim. He's
right, but
racist.
we can rehabilitate you if you kill somebody, but if you hate somebody and you kill them, that's going to take an extra training month or a
Yeah.
different module. We have to add a module to this book here because you clearly hated this person you killed.
Right. Right.
Well, you need sensitivity training. Like, oh, what does that matter? Like, somebody who kills somebody is killing people.
Right.
Like, duh. Like, what does it matter whether they hate or? I mean, do you get more for killing a child?
No. Well, sometimes you do. Well, don't you?
I don't think the
No,
penalty's
you
any
don't.
different.
You don't.
You might get other charges tacked on, and child endangerment, things
Right,
like
right.
that.
See,
But
that's where I was going with that. Yeah, you're right.
I
You're
think
right.
murder's murder. And
Yeah.
whatever state you go to, it's murder. So what's the hate distinguisher going to do? Add more time? Okay, then just add more time to murder.
Thank you. That's my whole point.
Why are you distinguishing between this type of murder, that type of murder? It's
Yeah,
murder.
because the justice system is supposed to be based on, it's supposed to be a deterrent, right? So now to say, oh, if you do this because and we prove that you hate this group, you get more time. I was like, no. So okay, so you're deterring someone from doing something that's hateful in but in nature is hateful. Like you're saying to kill someone,
Right.
right? But now if I make it so that you can't prove I did it because of race, creed, sexual, all that stuff, then I won't get as much. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm telling you, unless it's an impulse crime,
Right.
if these people are going to start planning this, they're going to pick a random victim that's not in that group so they don't get the max.
Right. Right.
Like,
I don't get it. I
it's
don't get it.
stupid to me.
Yeah. Same
Yeah,
here.
because it's not like they're going to walk away from it. It's not like they're going to be able to do things like this crazy fool did and then walk away and be like, hey, I got away with hate crime.
Right.
They're either going to off themselves, which, tends to happen, or they're doing time.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if you're willing to do the time, then guess the hate designator doesn't matter. But if you don't want to do as much time, then you better figure out a better plan. It's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. So why do you think we have these hate crime?
Oh, to please people. I mean, that's it. We keep in our culture these days. We keep pointing out these groups. We keep putting people in these groups, and it's weird because we're becoming more diversified through interracial marriages, adoptions, things, all these things that are creating a more diversified country. I think we were pretty much the most diverse country in the world, but we're becoming more and more diversified, and they're trying so hard to create these marginalized groups again. It's like they're intentionally trying to create them. So the hate crime reinforces that a marginalized or a group exists. Because let's be honest, really, like you just gave the example. If you shoot me, you as a black man, anybody listening on radio, you shoot me, is that a hate crime?
Well, going by our standards, yes.
Well, by the law.
Right.
The law, I'm pretty sure, was specifically written for these sensitive groups that they're creating, and I don't understand that. And I would think you would take offense to that. Like, why do they think that you deserve this special treatment because some big white guy picked on you? Like, are you kidding me? Does it make you feel better that you're part of a group that's protected because you can't stand up to another group? Like, what does that mean?
I love it, by the way.
Do you? I know you do because of the
Yeah.
benefits. Like you free
Yeah.
donut on. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because it's like now I know that Jim will get extra time if he does any type of harm that he's been planning for years.
You're absolutely right. That's why I'm not going to do it. I'll have somebody else do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it just points out the stupidity of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You just hit the nail on the head. Though. That's why. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I get someone else to do it. You know.
It's just dumb. It's like it means nothing at the end of the day.
Right, and I think it goes against adding emotion to a crime. It's nah. I disagree. It goes against with the criminal justice system, the framework of it all. When you add emotion to it.
Sure. Well, let's
You know what
talk
I mean?
about that then, because they did that. Remember, they created crimes of passion.
Yeah,
They started making exceptions for the guy who walked in on his wife cheating.
yeah, yeah.
They did
Yep.
that. So, although I may understand the scenario, may bring it or warrant it, I'm not sure I agree with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I agree with the crime of passion being lesser offense. You still killed somebody. No matter what your emotional state was, you killed
Yeah.
somebody.
Well, the emotional state goes along with what? The psychological state as well. Yeah,
Sure.
so that's where the a lesser amount of time being served comes from. Or you might have to go to some mental institution.
Well, think about it. Like, we can't eliminate it all because isn't that what self defense is about? You
Right.
can literally kill somebody and it not be your fault.
Right, right,
You
right.
know,
But when you do that, you're not charged with murder.
right. So killing somebody in itself doesn't just mean you're a
Exactly.
murderer or killer. Like, we can
Right.
agree with that because you could be defending yourself and, somebody ends up killed, or it could be a complete accident. Like, that's why we
Yep.
have levels of these laws.
Yep.
I just don't understand what the extra levels for. The hate.
Here, that goes back to what you were saying about to appease. It's appeasement.
Right. Because seriously now, Mike, say you wrote a letter. You said, this Jim has been making fun of me and calling and this and that. I hate him. And then you go and one day, you decide to be brave enough and shoot through the screen here and you get me, and I don't have a chance to defend myself. Will they read your letter and say, oh, that must be a hate crime now? Like,
No,
so they're
no,
really
because
just making it up.
it wasn't written for that. Once again, it has to go against. Now, did I hate Jim because he's it fits in one of these categories here that we talked about earlier? Then maybe.
But you can't because I'm not in any of those categories.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But just because I hate Jim because he's been picking on me, now you talk about crime of passion because I've been bullied.
Right. But I mean, so let's be serious then. If you wanted to make the argument, as long as it's not race bait, it's one of those protected classes, which kind of, then I can find something that you do or like that I don't like that, you're a Cowboys fan. You know what I mean? I don't like Cowboy fans. And that makes that a hate crime because I did it against Cowboy fans.
You said let's be serious, and I'm gonna be serious here. Now that's where some serious hate comes in. That needs to be that when it comes to sports, sometimes man, these people in this country just go crazy over that stuff. Right? So that's kind of like one of the taboos you don't talk about.
Yes.
Like Cowboys versus whomever.
Right.
And I'm trying to think. I can't. No, that wasn't sports related. But there's probably some cases out there. That would be some good research right there. Crimes of passion based on sports.
Well, let me tell you. I'll give you a perfect example because I grew up in Jersey, Devils fan, hockey fan.
Oh God, yeah.
But I lived near Philly. I would not take my children to a Philly game, ever.
Why?
Because those fans are brutal. Because Philly has been known for their tough, rough, Broad Street bullies. All their guys. They've always been a tough team. Fighting and all that stuff. They've always been a tough team. And you don't think that energy goes into the stands? These people are angry people. I've seen
Especially
fights
when
and
they lose.
brawls and all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah. Especially when they're losing.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're drunk. They're drunk.
Yeah,
and they're losing.
yeah. They're losing.
So I think-
alcohol. Forget about it.
Just in my experience, I think Philly fans are the worst fans. But then again, I can't say because I haven't been all over,
Right.
But I mean, in
Yeah,
my
they're
experience,
seriously bad.
I'd rather go to New York and watch a Ranger game than Philly.
Wow.
But those people, like I said, so is it a hate crime if a fan of another team shows up and those guys go and beat up the other team?
I believe it is.
Right, under this standard, it sure should.
Yeah, under the standard, yes, but no. no, because it's sports teams are not part of that protected group.
Right. So what about yourself? Like, what if somebody hurts you because you're like a super duper fan of the Kardashians? You know what I mean? What if somebody did that? I mean, would you be a protected group then? I mean, imagine the categories you can carry, Mike. Like, is it a double hate if you're black and a Kardashian fan? Like, do they get to tack on like extra years for each one? Each one of your groups?
Oh, you said let's be serious for a minute. I would say, oh, this is gonna be bad. Um, if I were that diehard Kardashian fan and someone took me out because of that, there is a God. That's the best response I have, man. There is a God. Oh,
Or you can stop watching the Kardashians. Oh, you don't have to. They're already stopped.
yeah, yeah. She's still crying. Yeah,
Right. But
yeah.
the point of it is like, what if you're in three protective groups? Do they add on hates, or do you
No,
just
it just proves the hate even more. You know what I mean? Yeah, it just proves the hate even more. If you have a you name it, a female Muslim who's black. I don't know. I'm just and gay. You know what I mean?
right? So what about a woman who gets pregnant by a black guy, and we don't know yet what race the baby is, but you kill the woman with the baby? Could that be a hate crime?
Yes,
Okay.
because obviously, if you're pregnant by a black guy, you're saying that she's not black.
Right. If it was a
Yeah,
white woman, right.
yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
hate crime.
Huh.
Yeah, but you still have to prove that that's the reason why this crime was committed.
Right.
You know what I
But
mean?
what if it was a white woman wearing blackface?
Who killed her? Who killed her?
Well, she had a black man's baby in her belly, but we didn't know yet.
But she's wearing blackface.
Yeah.
Some people, oh, bad joke again. God, man, you setting me up. You setting me up. You know what I was
Yeah,
about to say?
you don't even have to answer it because it's the dumbest thing, because this
Yeah,
whole
I
thing
know,
is
I
dumb.
know, I know. I was about to say, oh, just like me, there is a God. No,
Right. It's just the dumbest thing.
yeah,
And
but no, it's like how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? You know what I mean? Because just like we experienced with government, it's not going to stop where it currently is. They're just going to tack on through appeasement.
Sure.
You know,
And we can acknowledge that laws and rules, sometimes they surface because, for instance, we didn't have the internet years ago. So
right?
clearly new laws had to be created. Loopholes were exploited to have to be closed. Like, we understand new laws. But it seems like when they create a law that really has no problem, then what are they really doing? I mean, they're just wasting our time and money.
Yeah,
There's no problem. You're not going to regulate the hate out of people.
right.
Like I said, if anybody's going to be committing a hate crime because of one of these groups you're talking about, chances are they're not going to make it through anyway. So
Right.
what are you going to do? Stop the next guy?
Yeah.
Duh.
Right. I agree. But I'll go back to the old premise that laws are written to be a deterrent.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They're to be a deterrent, and that's it.
Right.
That's it.
We're not in the game of punishment. That's not really why it was all created. It was to give voluntary compliance from the people who agreed to be a part of a community.
Right.
So that's, the laws are written for. And I understand, even like we brought this up, and I bring this up people all the time, like you speed, a lot of people speed. So
Yeah.
they're breaking the law. But that's on them. You know what I mean? They're not really hurting. You can maybe make an argument they're putting someone's life in danger, which that's why it's enforced in certain places, because the police or the law enforcement, whatever division, whatever they're doing, the law enforcement entity sees that as you're not being responsible. Not that we need to punish you. You're not being responsible to follow the laws that we put into place to protect the citizens.
Right.
Like, I think that's the premise of the law. It's not like, hey, let's see how many people we can punish today for breaking laws.
Yep.
You can maybe make an argument that quotas became that. for revenue, money, but I'm not talking about that now.
Right.
So I'm talking about like if you're speeding, like even like think about things like I think suicide. Is it suicide against the law?
You talking about military?
No, I'm talking about any law.
Yeah.
Like I know they can arrest you and take you to a clinic or a thing if you're attempting suicide for your own safety.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For your own safety. Yeah.
So I'm at the end of the day, like, so murder is defined, taking a life, you know what I mean? Like taking your own life. Like, should there be laws against suicide?
Yeah. That's why I don't know if you thought I was joking when I said military.
Well, when I understand military, they still have the adultery law. So I
No,
don't think
I'm
that's come off the
saying
book.
there's like, even though you're dead, if you commit suicide, you get charged.
Well, yeah, but the military does it with like damage to government property and stupid stuff like that. I don't think they did. They have. I don't remember an actual suicide law or.
It was. It's not suicide. It's I don't know if they have murder. Is it murder? I would have to look at it. I don't know if they still do it, but I remember a couple of suicide cases I had.
Yeah, well, we know it's not no wonton soup. Wonton murder.
Okay. Jeez, you're killing me, man. You're
Oh
killing me.
no, but it's not out of hate though. It's not out of hate.
No,
Just
no, it's not a
I'm gonna
hate
let
crime.
that right now. If I'm killing Mike right now, it's not because I hate him.
I say it is.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Now, what if you just think it's out of hate? No, we still default to the protective groups.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if I identify today as a gay person and I kill another gay person who's the opposite color?
It could be a hate crime.
So you only have to have like one distinct difference of group?
Yeah.
So what if you were black? I mean, you know, if I were black and you were gay and I killed you, oh, that would be a double whammy. Let's reverse that. What if
Yeah.
you were black and I was gay and you killed me?
Yeah.
Is that a hate crime?
Yes.
But you're part of a protected group too, though.
If it's proven that I did so because you're gay.
Right, which how do they know that?
That's where the courts come in. Going back to, they start checking your history. Was it social media, whatever, groups you belong to, things of that nature.
Okay, so looking at it in that way, that perspective, I might almost say I understand an extra rider on the penalty. But I still don't know in the spirit of the law how that prevents anything.
They're adding emotion to a crime, and that's where I disagree.
Right.
Because
the emotion's already there if you're committing a crime.
Exactly. That's why I disagree with it. Excuse me.
Right. Is that COVID acting up?
Yeah, I got a symptom. But no, I disagree with it. I'm glad you said you disagree. So I'm like at a 100% right now. We're talking to people when we have that face-to-face discussion. No one agrees with the hate crime attachment.
Right. So then where's it coming from? Who's creating this? Who's making this more than it is? And why are we allowing it?
I would say certain groups out there who look at things more personally. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they have some what they call in overseas WASTA. They have a lot of influence with our local politicians, and it goes from there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I don't agree with it either.
Not a fan. I don't get it. And do you know the difference between the crime? Do you know how much difference it is? Like how many years they tack on, or
No, I don't. No, I don't. No.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have seen it before, but like, so I haven't even seen the story you're talking about, which is sad in itself. And I think during this time right now with COVID and yeah, I think it's just sad in itself. And I have some Asian friends, and you know how I feel about Asian women. Yeah, I fancy them. So
I never knew that.
do you really?
Yeah, seriously.
You didn't know that?
No, we don't need. That's another show, Jim.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So that's why I'm in tears, because in that aspect, because there's a good possibility that if they were going to nail salons, there's quite a few of them, and Not that I wouldn't cry for anybody who lost their life. I'm just saying I'm still single, so
There's a
maybe this
female.
is why. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so we're not joking about this, the people dying again. It always seems like that, but we know we have to go to some sort of a more humorous place before we take things personal because we see things on a different level than most
Yeah.
people have. So, pardon the humor if you're offended. I don't hate you. Just trying to suppress my feelings. So, anyway,
I
so did we beat?
apologize. I apologize for Jim's behavior on the show, people.
You're just hating. Stop hating.
we
So we beat that one to death yet, or what?
beat it. It's down.
There should be a hate crime to that
Yeah,
because we beat that
because
one.
he's a horse.
Yeah, horse. No,
Yeah,
not a horse.
we beat that dead horse.
Right, right. So all right, so let's close this one out here. Let's go into our final portion where we either pull the pin, have a person of the week, or whatever we want to just shout out. You got something, Mike?
Yes.
Oh, good, because you were thinking really hard.
No, I have several things to discuss, but the one thing I'm going to discuss is soldiers. I support you. I thank you, and I know to a certain extent, depending on the soldier, what you're going through on a daily basis. I know about your sacrifice, and I don't like it when people who have never donned the uniform, they speak against you, or in certain instances, even for you. You know what I mean? So I just want soldiers to know that whether you're a vet or you're active duty or you're reserve or whatever, thank you for your service. And you have a 100% supporter right here. Thank you.
You're always trying to make me cry. And come on here, you can speak for yourself.
PullThePinAlready.com.
Yeah, I am going to keep the soldier theme, and it's something I saw that I don't know names because I probably didn't even know the country. Apparently, there was some representative, the one lady I think kicked off the thing, I don't even know her name, was called out for not understanding, I think it's Guam. Did you see that? Like she mistaked Guam for like she didn't even know Guam was an American territory or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was
So
it?
this
What?
guy in charge of Guam, whatever, decided to grab his National Guard people and march down the hall to her office and deliver these cookies like as a statement. Now, I understand his frustration or his hatred toward what happened, but if you're going to march a gaggle of soldiers down a hall to prove a point, make them look and march like soldiers because you're embarrassing yourself if you're proving a point with a bunch of gaggling goofballs just to show them off to like, oh, look, we're here. Like it didn't move me. It just almost made me feel embarrassed for these soldiers who probably didn't even sign up for it. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe they're used to being left out and felt they needed to prove themselves. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have some sharp people and we're going to march down there. We're going to show them what we're about. You don't disrespect us because you need to recognize we're here to fight for this country too. You don't gaggle down like a bunch of ragbag National Guard guys. It didn't prove the point to me.
Exactly. And the point being, if you're going to represent the U.S., know what the hell you're representing.
Right. So if the congressman or whatever she is, if she was wrong, she was wrong. She can apologize. I'm sorry. I was uneducated. She's not the first person to do this. So
Doesn't make it right, but yeah, go ahead.
And I'm all for someone correcting her.
That's
but
right.
If you're gonna prove a point,
But not you.
what are you talking about?
No, you're all for someone correcting her, but not you. But go ahead. Focus on the soldiers.
You just corrected me 3 times. What are you talking about? So I'm just saying, if you're gonna prove a point, just do it right. Do it with class. Do it. Don't embarrass yourself further by missing the point.
Right, because marching down there, probably not just right dress,
Well, they
is
weren't even marching, dude. It was
oh they
like
were
a
just walking.
gaggle down the hallway.
Oh, so why you say if you're gonna do it right? So they were just gagging.
So
We've
what?
seen that plenty of times.
If I was in that group, I would have felt embarrassed. That's me. That's me. I
Then
would
why
have been
would you be in the
embarrassed.
group?
Huh?
Why would you be in the group? You're
If I
just
was
walking
living
down the
in
hallway.
Guam,
Why would you be embarrassed?
why would I be embarrassed?
Yeah, you're just walking. You're not marching. You're just walking.
I know you're walking in a gaggle. What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't understand why you have so much, hate towards the soldier.
There's no hate toward the soldier. I was trying to save the soldiers some embarrassment because their leader set them up to look like a bunch of gaggling buffoons showing up to prove a point.
Take out the word buffoon.
What?
They just gaggled down to her office and say, "Hey, we're part of U.S. territory. What's wrong with that?"
Send them a picture.
Oh,
Send her a photo. Have her come down and say, "Hey, I want you to come check out our soldiers. Look how, you know what I mean? You don't
I
have to
got
group."
you. I got you, man. Seriously, I understand. I really do. I get what you're saying because that's what we do. If we see a TV show where police officers are doing something, we're like, wait a minute, no, that's not right. You know what I mean? And we see soldiers, we judge them accordingly because
I'm judging the leader. I'm not judging the soldier.
Yeah, you just said gaggling buffoons. You called soldiers buffoons.
No, I said he is marching them down like gaggling buffoons.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, of course you didn't hear that part. He is doing it. That's why I said I wouldn't have been in that group because he would have embarrassed me.
No, Jim. Now, what you said was if you were in that group, you would be embarrassed. I said, so why would you be in the group?
Right. Well, because if I was from Guam and in the National Guard, I'd be in the group. Man, I'm just trying to pull a pin here, all right?
I was gonna keep going, man.
I know. So I'm gonna pull a second pin just to get off of here because I don't know where you're going with it. But no, I didn't call the soldiers buffoons, and if I did, then I did. So what? It doesn't mean I don't have respect for soldiers. I'm talking about the leader who tried to make them look bad by gaggling them down the hallway. Find a way to prove your point professionally. That is all the time we have for this episode. Thanks, Mike, for being professional yourself. Thank you for all you do and watching. Thanks for all the soldiers and everything you do. Come get involved. Come join us. Go to pullthepinalready.com. Fill out the form. Get in touch. Get on the episodes. Join our community here. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin.
Gaggle away. Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.